Hey everyone, Dr. Mike here again. We've been talking about how much the brain, the health of the brain, I should say, plays in your overall health. In fact, it is all about the brain. So, as we've said, when we look at the nervous system, we have 40 incoming fibers from the body to the brain for every one outgoing fiber, okay, from the brain to the body. So what that means is you've got billions of information to the brain and you got millions of bits out every second, all right? So what I'm telling you is if your spine's not right, if we don't get the spine right first, we're not going to get a good input to the brain, and we're going to be firing off stress chemistry all the time, and it would be no good to talk about nutrition until we get your stress chemistry down, shift you into that growth and healing mode. Once you're in growth and healing mode, then we really need to talk about nutrition. But just remember, the spine's got to be right first, and so typically you've gone through a corrective plan, you're on wellness visits right now, or you're going through your corrective plan. Those are the two deals. Now, if you are getting adjusted, the next level is brain health on a nutritional level. Now, we've started doing blood work here in the office through a company called BrainSpan, where it's going to measure lots of things that we need to do to see what kind of health your cells are in the brain and in the whole body. But at the same time, we do not only the blood work, but a cognitive test too. So we're going to test the brain cognitively and our processing speed and all those sorts of things, and put those results with your blood work results, and we're going to get a report like this that is super, super important. Now, in general, this report is going to give you a longevity scale on a scale from 10 to 0, okay? You may see, this particular report is at a 3.6. Not awesome, not in the red, but sure not in the green. Now, I've got to tell you that when we do these reports, we're going to have an initial report. It's going to tell us what protocol we need to take, and then we're going to do another test at 2 or 3 months, somewhere right in there, depending on your age and some different factors. And so we want to see that longevity number go up. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is your what are called your omega-3 index. You have omega-3 fats that are fish oils. Grass-fed beef has those in there. And you have omega-6 fats, which are corn, vegetable oil, those sorts of things. We want a 1-to-1 ratio of omega-3 to omega-6. Typical American has 25 omega-6s to every 1 omega-3. Not good. So what happens is when we build cells in the body, and you're building cells every day, you don't feel it, but your body's doing it. If we have more omega-6s, the cell-to-cell communication with hormones, whether it's insulin or dopamine or serotonin, oxytocin, those cell-to-cell information, one cell is going to kick out a hormone and the other cell has a docking station. Now, if that cell, if your ratios of omega-6 are really high, that docking station is not going to work. You're going to need way more hormone. Okay, think insulin. You're going to need way more insulin to get the same effect if we don't have these ratios right. We would like to have, percentage-wise, up to 12% omega-3 fat. That's optimal. Somewhere 8 to 12%. This one happens to be 4.7. Now, when we're deficient on the omega-3 percentage, our risk of heart disease goes way up. We decrease short-term memory, so the memory goes way down. We have ADD and slower learning in kids, and we have increased stress and anxiety. One of the main reasons I started doing blood work is we are seeing so many people with depression, anxiety, sleep problems, memory problems. I'm like, why is this at epidemic levels? And it's that we don't have the right things in the cells. Now, when we get into the green, we have a 50% lower risk of dementia, okay? When we get to age 93, we're going to need our mobility and our mind. This is how we get that. improved short-term memory, better focus and learning at school, improved mood, and lower anxiety, okay? So number one, we gotta adjust the spine to get the stress chemistry down and get the right fats in you. The second one is the cell inflammation balance. This is that ratio I was talking about. This particular is 9:1. We would like somewhere 6:1 or 1:1. That would be in the green. So when our ratios are off, we have a high inflammatory response, meaning your whole body is sore, okay? Increased pain response, meaning every time you get touched, you're just very sore. Hormone and immune system dysfunction, meaning your immune system's not going to be sharp, and higher risk of cancer and every other chronic disease. When we get into the greens, obviously we're going to have lower inflammation, reduced chronic pain, resilience to concussion if you do take a fall, okay, and a lower risk of heart attack. I want to shoot right through here. This is the cardiometabolic index. This is how much palmitic acid we have, just how high the acid levels are in the cell. We want somewhere, optimal is 20 to 17 or 17 to 20%. 29% would be excessive. But again, acid levels, you're going to feel hungry all the time. This is when we're gaining weight, okay? So the right fats have to be in your body for you to lose weight. So the hormones that regulate hunger will be off. Lower energy levels, of course. Increased storage of body fat, typically around the belt line. All right, risk of metabolic syndrome, which is high blood pressure, increased blood sugar, everything there. When we get it in the red, you have proper sensitivity to feeling full, increased energy levels. Obviously, you're going to burn fat better and normalize insulin. Okay, all right. So that's the acid level, and then we go through the specific memory capacity. The memory capacity test, the sustained attention, okay, the cognitive flexibility, how well you take in new information and process it, and then simply processing speed, how well you deal with different bits of information in the brain. So we get a comprehensive look at, number one, how healthy you are on the inside, and number two, how your brain is really functioning. So when we get the reports back, basically, it takes about 20 minutes to do the full exam. And really, the blood part is about, what, 2 minutes. It takes, 15, 20 minutes to do the cognitive part. Then it takes about 10 days for us to get the results back. When we get the results back, you're going to want to look at this video again, and then I'm going to go over your findings with you and make recommendations, okay? And so, when we look at this whole process, there are hundreds. This process is research. There's like 160 on the website, studies that back up what we're doing here. But at the end of the day, we have to decide, what is age 94 going to look like? Okay? Are we excited to get there? Are we not? When should we start getting healthy? This is the next level after getting adjusted that we have to look at to increase your health. Thank you very much.